Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
This is the Geek Fruit Podcast with Jishnu and Tejas.
Hi guys, welcome to another edition of the Geek Fruit Podcast with me, Tejas, and Jishnu.
Nerd.
Hi nerds. So, what do nerds love doing apart from watching television and movies and sitting at home all day?
Playing video games.
And then that. But when we do go out, which is a case which is few and far between, what do we do, Jishnu?
Buy video games.
To go and purchase the said video games. Yes, that's right. And then, in a rare act, now and then, nerds do something together and fun, and it's awesome. And it is board games. But then, when we don't play we could play board games at home. I don't know why we're dancing around this main topic for this episode.
Enough.
Yeah, we don't play nearly enough.
I have a 20-year-old game of Scotland Yard that needs to be unmothballed.
And also, it's like busting up does it age well, like like wine?
Yeah, if you don't mind the cracks in every crevice.
Okay, cool. Fine. So apart from board games, then there's like a one-time, like, not crossover, but like, what do they call it? The movie event of a lifetime, right? Or something like that?
The movie event of a lifetime?
So like when the Avengers released, it was like a one-time, like, it was like, oh my god, this is the crossover event which everyone's been looking forward to. So you know what I mean? It's like when things like with our powers combined, that kind of. So basically what I'm getting at is that we went for an offsite, which was actually before Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. Well before Comic-Con. We went last year because, for two reasons.
Sometime around September.
Yeah, September. It was
6 months ago.
Wow.
Basically. Wow.
Okay, this is a while ago, and we've been meaning to talk about this for a while because this is an important time to talk about because it's summer and everybody wants to go out and have a good time. And we went to such a place.
It's not summer, it's March.
It's going to be summer soon. Yeah, March is summer, by the way.
No.
April, May. So people, when they hear this, it could be 1 month from now or like 3 weeks from now. But yeah, it's still a good time to go to this place, which is outside Bombay. Jesus, can we just speak about it?
Do the damn show?
We went to IMAGICA. What is IMAGICA? Jishnu, why don't you tell everybody?
It is a theme park of imagination. I assume that is where they got the name.
That's
right?
the tagline?
I don't know.
Theme park of imagination?
What the hell does IMAGICA mean?
Imagination, like, sure. Or image.
Were they like John Lennon fans? I think probably not. Maybe they weren't, but they could be. I don't know.
Having said that, good name though.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Decent
and I
name.
assumed it was about imagination stuffs.
World of fantasy, etc.
Yeah, what you said. So, I don't think that this is anything that's too specific to the nerds in the world. This is the kind of thing that like everybody
But
can
nerds
enjoy.
would flock to a theme. I don't know. Do nerds flock towards theme parks more?
They would flock to like a Harry Potter world and the Star Wars thing to come, and like Universal Studios maybe.
Yeah.
And
actually,
this was pretty like safe and family all around the board, kind of like anybody and everybody can.
Okay, so would you otherwise consider? So why did we go? What was our thinking? Like we said
we don't exercise, and so we thought if we sit on a roller coaster and like go at 40 miles an hour, then maybe we'll get some adrenaline.
Yeah, also I think, that's the nerdiest way to exercise first. No, the other thing is that, I think the benefit is that both of us have gone to different theme parks
around the world.
So I think we've been to Disneyland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we've also done Universal Studios. I think I've done something in Hong Kong. It was very young. So,
we've done a whole lot.
Yeah. So actually going to another theme park, and this was supposedly like India's best to offer in that sense.
I think it is. It's supposed to be the most premier theme park in India.
So it's like you can't really put the word prestigious theme park. You can't. But it's been making some. It has a lot of money behind its advertising. It's been like you see IMAGICA billboards pretty much everywhere.
You do see it, at least in Bombay. You see it all over the place.
And that's and you see it in Pune also because it's like I would say it's equidistant.
It was like 2 hours away.
Yeah, it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Yeah. And so we said, you know what, Geek Fruit team, you know what, let's do something fun together. But we don't have much work put down in our website or anything, but let's do an offsite, man. Let's go as a team building exercise.
We didn't even have the website at that point.
No, we didn't have.
I don't think we had a website. We didn't have a domain.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah. No, I think we may have bought the domain, but we hadn't hosted it. No, we bought. Yeah, we bought the domain, and we didn't have the hosting.
Basically, we jumped the gun by about 6 months and decided
we can finally get to this, though.
One day, this will reap some fruits.
Yeah. Oh, nice one.
Yeah, right?
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, let's take the entire Geek Fruit team. And whose voices you will hear in the episode to come, because we have a few snippets. Yes, we were a little ahead of our time in the sense that we were thinking, we should probably do a podcast at some point. And we had the plans for it. So we did take some select sound bites from our adventure there. And you will hear Jishnu and my voice. And you'll also hear Dinkar, who is featured on this episode a lot. Bashub, who we talk about also on this episode. And Vijeta, who is also part of the team. So, we're gonna hear all of our voices. And some in media res, like during the ride, and that was cool. Yeah, and
very illegal,
quite illegal. Yeah,
we were told many times via loudspeaker and by a loud mouth right next to us, saying, "Sir, please."
Sir,
no recording.
Sir,
camera. Do you remember the time that you were on that elephant ride?
Yeah, elephant ride.
We were on this. I'll just mention really quick because there's nothing worth talking about other than what happened regarding the fact that we were recording.
Yeah.
We were on one of those Dumbo rides.
Yeah, it was basically a
elephants.
Of Dumbo, yeah.
Yeah, just elephants like floating around in a circle.
And there was one.
It was meant for like 5-year-olds. But we were like, this is perfect for us.
Let's do it.
This is amazing. So we all jumped on, and I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
You had the camera. You had a camera.
So here's the thing. I had a GoPro, and we had the iPad, and we had a Zoom recorder.
Yeah,
a field recorder.
Right.
And I
think Dinkar was recording on the
Zoom, and I had the camera.
And we're all in our own individual elephants, respectively, one elephant away from each other, and so we can all see each other because there are only like maybe 10 elephants in the circle, and we occupy 5 of them.
Yeah.
So we're floating, and this all you can do on this ride is like pull a lever and go up and down. While it runs in a circle.
Still, lots of control.
Tons of fun.
Yeah.
I could do it all day.
Yeah.
But, and so the thing is, since it's meant for like 5-year-olds, it's a very small ride. You don't go very high up. You don't go very far away. So the guy who's in charge, who like presses go to like make the thing spin.
His job is, he has
clearly
one job.
see everybody at all times. And he sees Tejas holding up an iPad in one hand, holding up a GoPro in the other, maybe or something like that. And he's like, "Hey, bro, like what?
Sir, please don't."
Excuse me, Mr. 26-year-old man, full-grown adult male.
Equipment,
why are you doing this?
Yeah, and the funny thing is that this is so bizarre. They saw our cameras, they saw the GoPro, and they saw the Zoom, and they objected to the Zoom. Remember at the security thing?
That's right, when we checked in.
Like,
when we
what
walked
is this device? And no, you cannot record audio in this place. Yeah, because that is what I'm taking away from it.
Right.
But like, I mean, obviously we were, but like, why would you object to audio and not to video?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had the GoPro with the head strap.
Yep.
And it was cool, man. We tried to do some illegal stuff, but I mean, it sounds dodgy now.
We're only talking about filming.
Yeah.
Little kids.
Still weird,
all
by the
day
way.
long. Very creepy.
Still very creepy. Anyway, so we're gonna in this episode we're gonna take you through why you need to go to IMAGICA or why maybe you shouldn't, and talk about some of the rides, and basically and then you can make your own informed decision, damn it. So we'll be back after a word from our sponsors, which is another podcast.
Now, if you want to listen to some brilliant indie music from all over the country, it's really simple. You can find me on Made in India. That's madeinindia.in. My name is May, and it's spelled M-A-E-D. Now, I've had some great artists on the show, including the likes of Nikhil D'Souza, The Cognac Net, Last Remaining Light, Tejas Menon, The Other People, Alicia Pays, Lakshmi Baum, Vasudha Sharma, Ankur Tiwari, and so many more. Now, if you want to subscribe, you can go to iTunes or Stitcher or your favorite podcast app, or you can find me on my website. That's madeinindia.in. That's M-A-E-D, or on Twitter and Facebook on Made in India.
So,
yeah,
we're back.
We're back at IMAGICA, kind of. No, we're talking about it.
Just paint that picture in your head.
Yes, yeah.
We are walking through some very ubiquitous metal detectors.
Yeah.
At like 10 a.m.
Yeah, it was not bad.
On a Monday or like middle of the week.
I think we took, we went on Monday. And we specifically chose Monday because we didn't want the gardi of like,
Right. We didn't want any crowds and all that stuff. So
And we had a pretty sweet deal also. They had like this whole pick-up, drop-off kind of service,
right.
and for like 5 hours. So it was kind of perfect.
It was not very expensive.
That's the other thing. It's not expensive at all. And paisa vasuli means like full. It happened. It was strong. Because right, just from the outset, I want to say I had a great time, man. It was like, it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It was also because we went there almost ironically.
Yeah. Not almost.
I mean,
not almost.
I mean, it was not like, when we go for the Star Wars thing, as Geek Fruit, I mean, like, it's gonna be, I can't even imagine what that's gonna be like. I think we're just gonna be reduced to like, we're gonna become like
I'll need
children.
diapers.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
But going for IMAGICA, there was no, so that's the thing. It's not like going to Disneyland where you're familiar with the motifs and the characters that are there.
Right.
Like, you're gonna run into Mickey Mouse, and you have all the characters from this giant pantheon of like, work that they have put out across like many decades. IMAGICA, it's run by Ad Labs, so you don't really know what their history is. Having said that, I was excited for Mr. India, which was the only kind of familiar face in the so they had the rights for that. And obviously, what a big Mr. India fan I am. So I was like, dude, we're
No,
doing
they
Mr.
don't. Please tell them.
I'm a huge Mr. India
While
fan.
I take my headphones off and walk out of the room because I don't want to hear you talk about bloody Mr. India.
But
again.
Mr. India is great. And why I latch on to Mr. India a lot, apart from watching it countless times as a kid, is that was like one of our main science fiction things which was ours, that's, we can own that stuff,
That actually succeeded.
Yeah, and it succeeded. It's a great film, even though obviously it's modeled after like, but that's fine. Mogambo is pretty much like Dr. No, whatever it is. But like, Mr. India is like our science fiction offer to the world, and it's like great because it came out in the 80s, so it's still fine for it to be cheesy and stuff, and it had like a lot of these Bond meets Indiana Jones kind of vibe to it. So I love Mr. India, and this is a topic for another episode. Invariably, when the Mr. India sequel is made, and I will reject it because I've written my own script, we'll get to that. But yeah, man, Mr. India was the only kind of familiar face. The other thing is that when we entered and we saw, it was pretty empty. Like, and I do not know if that was a Monday, because it was a Monday, or it was because...
It was off season. It was, mid-September. It was mid-September on a random weekday. And we got there, like, right as gates opened, pretty much. I mean, the gates would have been open for less than an hour by the time we got there.
And the bustle and the activity that you would see at a Disneyland, you'd see
that
characters.
Bustle and activity eventually came in. Like,
but that's not
later in the day.
Was that because of the kids who were there?
The only other people that were there besides us by a big majority, the only other people that were there was just one school. There's one like army school of some sort or whatever I think they were.
And I assume that's what they do. Like they get a lot of kids in.
I'm sure. Like especially in off seasons, I'm sure they would love to promote to
for sure
schools and things like that. So there were maybe 300-400.
Yeah,
something like that. Easily 300-400 kids that were anywhere from 5-year-olds to maybe 12.
Yeah, definitely 5-year-olds because of one kid.
Because of your friend
about.
that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
So it was us, all of us in our mid-20s, and then a bunch of 5 to 12-year-olds. And that was about it. I barely saw anybody in our age or older. I didn't see anybody else.
So I think we did see them when we were queuing up for the lines.
I mean, maybe a few
couple
parents.
of others.
Maybe like a few
No, parents.
parents.
I saw other people our age, if not older, because who had the same idea.
Anyway, I'm sure this is riveting for people to know what demographic was there with us. But anyway, what I like to get to is, so we walk in through the gates and we get the whole metal detector check and all that stuff. Like he said, his Zoom recorder gets interrogated.
Which is funny because it could record it.
Right? Yeah, we should just record it. We should film that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we walk in through the gates, and the minute you walk in, it has very much the same vibe as the Magic Kingdom right when you walk in, and then it's got this plaza and this square kind of thing, which I think is a good sort of safe, ubiquitous theme park entrance thing, which people do, which is fine now. So I didn't really mind that.
And you had your merch store and all that stuff.
Yeah, you had your merch, and there was the decor was really nice. And the one thing that I was really looking for when I was there, which I was very impressed by, I was looking to see how clean or not it was.
Okay, cool.
And it was very well maintained.
Really meticulously.
Obviously, because we went on off season, there were more than people there. But also, just in general, it was very well taken care of, well groomed. You could see a
And
lot
yeah,
of
and
stuff
why this is a
on
point,
hand,
because, there's a bunch of water parks and resorts in Lonavala, which are like dirty as shit,
yeah.
like, and you're just like, oh, dude, I don't want to do that.
And speaking of water parks, so like it's right next door to IMAGICA,
yeah.
so you can see like the really high
And it looks
water
awesome.
slides from the park,
Yeah.
and it's really great.
And we should do that
We
at some
definitely should
point.
do that. And so
Yeah.
I was actually a little bit wary about going to another water park in India because I was just like, I don't know. But if
After
it's
this,
if
yeah.
it's as good as IMAGICA and as clean, especially if you go in an off season, then I might just be convinced, because I am a little
everyone is pretty much, right?
I don't want to.
But yeah, I think I think both are legit. Like, even when we entered, it was just really clean.
Yeah.
And yeah, so obviously, like, the one thing I was really looking forward to knowing was if there was alcohol. Because, I mean, like, we are 20-something, all like our late 20s, we need alcohol, man. Like, and to supplement our enjoying of these,
Yeah,
like...
because everybody needs alcohol at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning, right?
And we were like,
Don't we
dude,
all?
how do we make this, how do we take this to the next level? And we were like, okay, cool, hit the button. And literally, that's the first thing.
They had was this giant pirate ship.
Yeah.
Like
and
a
you know what?
full-size pirate ship.
And
It was
here's the other
great.
thing. We didn't have to walk in that direction. It's almost like we were drawn towards it. And
It's on the way.
Yeah.
It's literally on the way.
Yeah.
You go like, you get frisked, you buy your ticket, you walk in,
You get
to a
drinks.
bar, and then there's a park behind the bar.
Yeah.
You
And
have
it
to
was
walk through the bar to
like
get to the park.
A
It's amazing.
life-size pirate ship
Yeah.
called Armada. And like, so we were like, 5 of us, we were like, okay, cool. How do we do this? Should we do it slow? And in retrospect, this was a mistake. We did like 5 shots of like watermelon tequila.
5 shots among us, not 5 shots each.
That
would be a very different day.
Oh, yeah, no, but still, potent and good and tasty and
Yeah.
awesome. And dude, like, does Disneyland have like a bar and stuff?
Of
I
course.
went when I was a
They
kid,
must-
so
they
I
must
don't
have.
remember.
They must have.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they do. They have downtown Disney.
Exactly.
Which is amazing.
yeah.
And they probably have alcohol in the parks. I'd be surprised if they don't.
Yeah, because it's
It'll be
a
like,
funny thing for
it's
me.
ludicrously expensive, so nobody buys it.
Also, because there are rides and that
Yeah.
induce like nausea, you know, like why would you do? But we did it, and that was
Yeah.
the mistake that we made, because the first ride we went to was
Basically Space Mountain.
Basically Space Mountain. If you're familiar with Disneyland, and this is the thing we'll talk about later on, is that like a lot of this was beat for beat Disneyland, right? Like they've ripped off all
Several different parks.
several different parks, but mostly like a lot of like key Disneyland and Universal Studios rides, and rebranded them.
Yeah.
Still good though.
Yeah.
So we went to this place called Deep Space, okay, and that was the first ride we went to. So the thing about Space Mountain in the States is that it's a roller coaster in the dark.
Yeah.
Inside it's an indoor.
It's in an indoor dome thing that's blacked out.
That's the funniest thing.
So the thing about Deep Space and about most of the rides, like we said, it looks great. Like the whole park, it's got a lot of greenery and like it's very well decorated and stuff and very clean, like I said. So like it's spick and span. It looks really shiny and prim and proper. But when you approach the first ride, which was Deep Space, when you approach it, it looks like this very bland bunker. With a tiny dome, like tiny little dome sticking up about the top of it, but it's very unassuming.
Yeah,
and
it's super
and it's
unassuming.
called Deep Space. And
You're
we're
just like-
and so obviously just because, devil's advocate, we're like, oh, is that like Space Mountain? Maybe, probably not. They can't afford to do anything like that because that's really amazing.
That's
Space
the
Mountain is so
hilarious
cool.
thing, though.
So it looks like poop from the outside. It really doesn't look that great. It looks so boring.
Yeah.
And we're standing in line. And it still looks very uninteresting. You walk in.
and it's like it's got really bad art
very
direction.
cringe
Yeah, very
art-
cringe art
very
direction.
cringe-worthy art direction.
And the whole thing was, and this was because this was the first ride we went to. We
Yeah.
were still like there ironically. We were
Yeah.
like, oh, this is going to be a joke. This whole
Yeah.
place is gonna, but we'll get some kicks out of it. We've drank alcohol. It's going to be great. And we went and they put us in our seats and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And even then, and so there's like this 10 to 20 second little intro, right?
Yeah, like every roller coaster has that this build up before the big zoom. And it's normally it's a drop.
Yeah.
Right? Normally the roller coaster's first move is a giant drop and then it picks up speed.
Yeah.
So this was quite the opposite.
And it was like bad props, bad art
Yeah.
direction, and like people were like,
They had like a mannequin that
saying,
it pulled straight out of like some random
robots
department
are
store.
ready.
Yeah,
Take
like,
off. Type
really
of
crappy like cardboard boxes
Yeah.
that they made look like a computer monitor and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Really ugly,
really like retro
bad.
futuristic almost
Yeah.
in a way, not intentional.
Right.
And then we go into this whole 2001 Space Odyssey kind of basically
Like
what,
the trench run. It
the
looked
trench
like
run.
the-
Yeah,
yeah, had
and
the
it's got
tunnel
these
thing.
LED, like it was light. I can't. It was like this octagon, like
Yeah.
several octagons which are lined up.
Right.
And then suddenly it like
3, 2, 1, zoom, and holy crap!
Wow.
This was
It was
surprisingly fast.
It was amazing.
And that lemon shot definitely kicked in very quickly.
Like right then, it was like, okay,
right then
here's when you get the hit.
So it was great because the roller coaster itself was awesome.
Yeah.
It was in that it was very fast and whatnot. But
and it fools you.
It does.
Yeah.
So we actually have a little recording from
Post that, yeah.
right after the fact.
Yeah, wait.
So if we can just cue that up, and you will hear
yeah,
that in just a second.
What did you guys think of Deep Space?
It freaked me out. It was, Thankfully, it's over pretty quickly, but man, it's edge of your seat, literally.
Endless. I could feel my burger inside.
Yeah, burger? Oh yeah, we all had burgers before this.
No, it looked like a very simple ride at first, like easy peasy, and then suddenly, boom!
Yeah, they totally fooled us with the bad graphics and 3D props that they had over there. And they were just like, oh yeah, we're just a casual ride. And then just totally slayed us with some mad velocity.
It was really fast, yeah.
It was mad fast, yeah. I was not prepared for that. Very impressed, basically. So far impressed. Let's see what Mr. India has to offer.
So we like shots and we like deep space.
Yes. Also, don't do shots before going on Deep Space. This is just a tip for everyone out there. Yeah, and it's very, very strategically placed after the bar. So that's kind of after 2 bars. So don't do that. Okay, we'll be back. Yay.
So yeah, I'm glad that our recollection is pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's quite accurate.
Because it's been a while. Full disclosure, it's been a while since we've heard these recordings.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
We're kind of listening to them for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, so I mean, Deep Space, awesome, and like I think that kind of set the tone. We were like, wow, this place is probably not as bad as we have imagined it.
It was a very good first impression.
Yeah, it was a great first impression.
As a first ride, it was a great first impression.
And then we were like, wow, probably these rides are not bad. We're gonna go check them out. And and just the other thing was like, wow, those shots were a mistake. We should probably not have done that, but we were just like, let's just run with it now.
Yeah.
So we went to like a couple of other really, really impressive ones. We're gonna skip through and go through like the ones which I think which were really kind of So there are a bunch of roller coasters, and then there are a bunch of like other types. I don't know how we would define these kind of rides, right?
Well, the next one we went to was your Pride and Joy, which was Mr. India.
Mr. India, which was, I thought was going to be, so when they said, it was like a 3D ride.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, again, and since we started equating it to rides from Disneyland, Universal Studios, I think that was more of like a Star Tours, which is like, Star Tours is like, it's a Star Wars journey, which you sit inside a kind of a, you sit
inside of a room, and there are these.
It has seats, and
it has seats, and the seats are on a hydraulic system.
Yeah,
and so the seats just rock back and forth, and it feels like the whole room is. It feels like you're in the ship that's moving. There's a screen in front of you.
Yeah,
it's 3D
it's
projection.
All pretty close up,
and it's very
stuff.
close up. And so
here that wasn't the case though. So there was
I was a little disappointed.
It was a little disappointed with Mr. India. Damn it! And I really wanted to be awesome. But basically, we go and we sit inside. Now the story so
this has a proper storyline.
This does have a story. So Mr. India is in this case, it's like I don't know how much time is set before. After the last movie, but basically Mogambo is alive, and he has stolen. Mr. India has a chimp now.
Yes,
has a chimp.
He kidnapped the monkey.
He kidnaps the monkey or something, and we're chasing Mrs. Hawaii.
He kidnaps the monkey.
Sridevi's character.
Right?
Damn it, I can't remember her name. He kidnaps her, and he basically takes her on a flying vehicle.
It was like a blimp or something.
Yeah, a blimp or something like that. He's basically
it looked like the Hindenburg, I think.
Yeah, he has her, and he's basically got rocket like feet and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and he's like zooming through.
He's some sort of weird cyborg now, right? He's got
basically after the explosion. I'm thinking of his fort, like in the movie. He's lost an eye. He looks like Kano from Mortal Kombat. He's got like a red eye and stuff. And Mr. India has to follow him on his flying car, which he has one now, which is very similar to Robin Williams in Flubber.
Very similar to Agent Phil Coulson.
Agent Phil Coulson as well in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Lola.
Both are good references. Yeah, and so you have to kind of sit in it, and it was a huge theater. It was basically sitting in a theater, and everybody had car seats. And the problem with this ride was that it was cool because you could, like, the car was on a hydraulic system, so it was moving around.
Which was, again, very surprisingly intense.
Yeah, it was
intense. I was
expecting
it to be a little tamer. It was a good amount of, like, whoa.
Yeah, it was jerky and in a good way. Like
if you were a kid, you could potentially be, like, a little freaked out.
Yeah,
it was solid. It was
and we're all kids, so we were pretty freaked out. And, it was good, but I think the fact that it was such a huge screen and, There was no 3D. I think that was the other thing that
was
bummed me
big
out.
thing. It was a very big theater. So
Yeah.
the Star Tours thing that we're referencing is relatively small. It's the size of like an average living room, maybe. Like, it's not very big. You can't fit more than like 30 people in there.
Yeah.
This thing was a giant proper movie theater.
Yeah,
it
and
was huge. It was big enough for like you could fit 100 people in there, if not for the humongous contraptions in there, which were the hydraulic chairs.
Yeah, and I think
so. The screen was 50 feet away, not even in 3D. So like that kind
the
of
effect that they were trying to achieve didn't happen.
But that being said, it was this really nice cartoon animation thing that they had, like a 3D cartoon animation thing, which is actually really nice. And what I loved about it is that they threw in
all the rides.
Essentially, it was like a tour across IMAGICA. So basically, he is chasing Mogambo, and you're on the ride with him. Essentially, you're in the car with him or something like that.
Yeah.
And
you're chasing him through IMAGICA.
Yeah. So he takes you through the pirate ship and like, hey, we just had a shot there. Like, hey,
oh, I remember that place. We're going back there soon.
Right.
No, and it was
so
cool
because
that
was kind of neat.
And because we were like, it was only the second ride we went to.
Yeah.
It was like, it's like a mini tour of what we're gonna see. So that was cool, I guess. And I recommend that people do that early on. I think, actually, you know what? That's the thing. We did the exact right order of rides.
Pretty much.
Yeah. We did like the optimum version of it. Because what we did is we started with like a banger, and like then we went through the story kind of thing. Then we did like a couple of chilled out rides because we did a couple of other shots later on.
Did we? Oh, we did.
Yeah, we did more. And then we were like, let's go eat also. And then we were like, we're not going to go through all the rest of the roller coasters like, on this full stomach because lest we like throw up and make omelets everywhere. But like, yeah, man, I think we did like a couple of really, really cool stuff. Do you remember what we did after Mr. India?
I want to say we went to Alibaba.
Right. Alibaba was an interesting ride. Was it a ride though? I mean, how do you define
technically
it?
it was a ride.
And I just want to do this before we move on. Is that there's some roller coasters, and then there's some themed rides which are kind of, and then there's some which are on foot, which are experiential, like you have to walk and experience.
Yeah.
So
which is very much a standard again if we're comparing it to Disney. And
which we are pretty much. This is
sad though. Because the thing is, they literally. It's not.
They asked for it.
Yeah, like they knew what they were doing when they did it because you can. It was pretty blatant. Like they didn't try to hide it.
And also they're saying this is a international level, like theme park.
Yeah. So when they did the Alibaba thing, so it was a.
Why don't you tell them what Alibaba is about though?
So it's a sort
ride.
of like it's vaguely like Pirates of the Caribbean meets. What I forget which park I was at, but there was a Buzz Lightyear thing as well.
Oh, right, and you have to shoot. Yeah, okay.
So it married the Pirates of the Caribbean in that you get into these boats, and then you go down a track that's guided, and there's these sets that are built around you, and the whole thing is that it's Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, and so it's Arabian Nights.
In
and all
fact,
that stuff.
it was very Pirates of the Caribbean. Now that you mention it,
So basically, as you're going down this river of sorts, it's 4 people in a boat. Yeah. Each person gets their own like mounted gun, essentially, like a laser.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
A laser pointer, basically.
Yeah.
And as you're riding along, it's really nicely done. Set design and
set design was
and these models that are built for like the various. 40 nights.
Yeah, but there wasn't any like so if you've been in Pirates of the Caribbean, and that's how the movie was even like greenlit, is that basically there's a rough kind of story happening. I don't know, I couldn't sense a story in this.
That being said, they had a very elaborate intro video that had the story. Yes. So while you're waiting in line,
there was a full cinematic like live
so when you're waiting in line for like half an hour, whatever, you get to see this like 5 minutes and it properly shot, really slick,
very slick
cinematic thing that reminded me a lot of The Mummy, like Brendan Fraser's Mummy,
and at the same time also reminded me of the beginning of Aladdin.
Yes, very much. It was the beginning of Aladdin.
Yeah.
But it looks like The Mummy.
Yeah.
So because it's live action.
Yeah.
And that's what the story is. But of course we couldn't really care about it.
Yeah, so it's basically to kind of kill time while people wait.
Yeah.
And you watch it and it's just this guy who's narrating, like he's like, I'm in danger and all that stuff. And I think he's referring to the fact that people are coming to find Alibaba, and I don't know what the actual story is of Alibaba, which maybe is complete shame. But yeah, man, and
anyway,
it was cool.
So you get into the boat, and then the story.
It's a boat, right?
It was a boat, yeah.
Yeah.
So you get into the boat, and the story is whatever the story is, and then basically the aim of the game is to just point these laser pointers at these guys, and like if you hit a certain kind of like you hit one guy, you get 100 points. You hit another guy, you get 50.
Shooting, yeah.
You hit the civilian, you get a negative.
And
point,
there's a point counter.
There's a point counter. You count.
Yeah, in front of it.
Horribly inaccurate. I will stand by this. I hit definitely 100 more. No, I was not that bad.
So I
My
think
laser pointer was off.
Dinkar was first. He
By
got
like a mile and a half.
16,000 or something like
Nonsense.
that.
Anyway.
And then there was me. Yay.
So that was that. So Alibaba was cute and simple and all right.
Yeah.
It was
and it was
fine.
good because we could just sit and
Yeah, it was just
relax.
you sit down, you point the gun, you shoot things.
Yeah.
Following swiftly was the elephant thing that we mentioned.
Yeah. So then
The
I think we
Dumbo
needed to chill out for a
Yeah.
bit. And we really wanted to do the chill rides. And what we had in mind was like, let's do the baby rides because that's when we can talk and discuss everything. And it was all about like, how is IMAGICA like ranking up to the rest of the world and stuff like that. Which
a
now in
baby
retrospect
ride?
was like a pointless endeavor.
Right.
But we had a good time though. And so we went for this teapot.
The spinning teacups.
The spinning teacups.
Which was literally spinning teacups.
Yeah,
I mean,
which
it's
was
the
the
same
Alice
thing.
in Wonderland ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. It literally is. Every ride was another ride.
Now, we have audio from that, but I don't think we need to play it because that was basically just us sitting in the teacup
And saying,
with a
like-
microphone in it
Yeah.
and just talking to each other saying, General, the guy's seeing us. No, don't let him see the mic. He can see the mic. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk. Oh, wait, no, he can see the camera. Oh, no.
Which is
And
why
then-
this was like such a black op, this mission. It was like, Recon. It was another Recon mission, like, and just like, how do we get information about IMAGICA? But it
Plus, also, I don't think there's anything that you don't know about spinning teacups.
Yeah.
You sit in a
The
giant cup
concept is
and you
simple.
spin. It's pretty self-explanatory.
the answer is in the title.
There's not much that can go wrong. If anything goes wrong in a spinning teacup ride, the whole world will know about it. Because
Yeah,
I think the only thing
exactly.
that can happen is if like a rogue cup goes flying and you like decapitate some 5-year-olds. I think that's about all that can happen. I don't see
my
much what's
God.
going wrong with
yeah,
it.
Yeah, but yeah, and similarly, the elephant ride, which was the Dumbo ride, was literally us sitting on elephants, and we spoke about it earlier, so I won't get into that. But yeah, man, and those are two really chill rides, and I had a good time.
Okay.
It was good.
But
Coming back to the
following swiftly
yes,
was what we were probably most like anxious for and
which
excited
one?
for. The Saurus of Raja.
the Rajasaurus.
Yeah.
So this is like the flagship ride, I think, of IMAGICA because
It was in the middle of the park.
It's in the middle of the park.
The
It's
biggest one, the
got
tallest one.
everybody's. It's there in all the advertising and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
basically, and by this time we had deduced that is pretty much the Jurassic Park, the Lost World
It
ride.
is the Lost World ride from Universal Studios.
Yeah, and the Lost World ride is like an amazing ride, and it's basically like you sit in a boat again.
Yeah, so yeah,
You sit in a boat.
It's a tracked boat, like Splash. It's basically Splash Mountain, but the adult version of Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing as Splash Mountain.
And the Lost World ride in Universal Studios in LA is like it's one of the steepest drops. It's a 90-foot drop and at a crazy angle.
Yeah.
And the way it happens is that you're taking through this so it's basically the remnants of like InGen, and InGen is all like broken down because the dinosaurs have taken over, and like you see all the remnants and you're seeing all of this stuff and you see like, oh, here's this dinosaur, and they give you like this short tour, like once again, and literally it builds up to you kind of going upwards, and then like the floor gives way beneath you because the T-Rex is there, and like it's supposed to catch you by
So
surprise.
actually, real quick story is
Yeah.
that like, when I went on the Lost World ride, I was
yeah.
maybe 7 or something like that, right? So I was a little kid, and I went with my dad on the thing, and this is obviously Universal Studios, and like you said, it's beautifully done, amazing art decoration on
Yeah.
it. So like,
Like,
you spend maybe 5 to 7 minutes just going ooh and ah
At the
because
animatronics,
They
yeah.
have animatronic dinosaurs, and they look incredible.
Like some of the stuff which
It's
they've
beautiful.
used in the movie also.
Probably,
like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's
It looks
excellent.
incredible.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're climbing up, and then you're in the InGen facility, and it's really dark, and like sparks are flying, and scary lighting. You're like, oh, and then this humongous T-Rex head just pops up from above you, and so you look up. Now remember, this is when I'm 7, right? So I'm like, 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
So, and I was in the front row. So I look up at this giant T-Rex and I scream my head off as you're supposed to. And then, as was the plan, the floor drops from beneath you, and then you take like a 90-foot drop.
Yeah.
So the minute we hit the ground, like I sprained my neck
Yeah,
to the point
it
that for the
happens,
next
dude.
6 hours my day was ruined.
Oh.
And I was at Universal Studios at age 7 and I couldn't do anything because it was just that intense.
Oh, that sucks, man.
So when I went on Rajasaurus 20 years later,
It's like I will just not give in to this ride.
I wanted to see that T-Rex and like look it dead in the eye and be like,
You may not be the same Rajasaurus I saw earlier in life, but God damn it.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, but I mean, like...
So I had high hopes.
So did
high
I.
hopes.
And, you know, because it's on all the branding, I was like, okay. And, you know, Space Mountain, Deep Space was great. So I was like, okay, cool. If this is a ripoff, it's going to be a great ripoff.
Right.
And it was not bad, actually.
It was not terrible.
It was not terrible at all. The intro, which was...
Yeah.
And this is amazing. This is something that I just enjoy so much about India, and I keep talking about this, is that when they take science fiction and fantasy elements and then adapt them in Hindi, the words are so funny because
there's narration.
Yeah,
when
there's
you're
narration,
in the thing.
Yeah.
So in Universal Studios, when you're in the ride, it's John Hammond's voice, which is very comforting to hear him just talk about how he made the dinosaurs.
Richard Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough. So like. And they almost definitely got him to actually sit and do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So in this part, they had some random guy and some dude.
It's like, ab wahan dekhiye. Velociraptor wahan se aa raha hai. And then, like, my Hindi is terrible, but I can't do it. But I cannot explain it.
Yeah, you can't translate, the
was
rappers
so
are coming, not in the long grass, get out of the long... You can't say clever girl. Like, what?
You can't.
Yeah.
But it was like, hoshiyar ladki. I don't know. But it was so funny, dude. And I just can't take it seriously. I know it's for a different audience. It's for a mainstream kind of different audience. Yeah. But, it was, but I enjoyed it more. It's like, when we're going for movies which are dubbed in Hindi, which eventually we will watch Deadpool in Hindi. And, it will just be so unintentionally funny, but this is something that we just enjoy. So yeah, we went into it. The build up was fine. Animatronics obviously not the same level, but it was interesting and it was well lit and it was a huge kind of interior location. And finally, when we go to there was a T-Rex, right?
There was a T-Rex.
Yeah,
I will say
the Rajasaurus. Yeah,
I will say, however, that this is not something that most people would do. I was doing this because I'd been on this ride before. 2 hours there, for the podcast. So I was actively trying to review everything that I was seeing.
Yeah.
So I was looking for the holes. I was looking for the strings.
Yeah.
One thing, we went on Deep Space twice. We went on Deep Space twice.
That was great. Yeah.
I only noticed it the second time around with Rajasaurus. Went on it only once, and I noticed it the minute I got on the ride. I could see, I looked up before the T-Rex even came in. When it was still a very calm ride. I looked up and I could see the scaffolding. I could see the curtains.
The workings of it.
Yeah, I could see that.
The Wizard of Oz
Now,
effect.
normally you wouldn't look up because you're looking to the left and right to see the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
right next to you.
we had the spoilers,
Yeah, so I mean, they didn't really they didn't do the illusion as well as they could.
But that's only because
again,
we knew it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't blame them too much for that.
Yeah, and whoever's hearing, sorry, I guess spoiler alert. I guess. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, overall, still the drop was great. And when we reached it, we were just like, wow, this is impressive, and it was good. It's not as big. I mean, and obviously, this is gonna happen is that we are comparing everything to the other stuff. Right. But it was still fun.
It was
man.
still amazing.
And after a while, I think after some of the shots had gone down, we were like, forget reviewing this. Let's just have a good time. And we did, man.
We
it was
did
great.
have a great time.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there was a whole different kind of feeling to IMAGICA post the rain.
Yeah.
So it started raining.
The minute we splashed down, actually, the rain really
started coming
in.
down. Yeah,
really kicked in.
And that was a whole different experience, man.
It changed the game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll take a short break, and then we're going to talk about a completely different IMAGICA experience.
You can listen to Cyrus Says from our apps on iOS, Android, or our website, cyrussays.in. You can also listen to services like iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcasting softwares. It's cyrussays.in.
And we're back on the Geek Fruit podcast.
We never went anywhere. We never do.
We just run out for 20 seconds, have some coffee, and then come back in with the coffee and proceed to sip it through the episode. So, we were at IMAGICA.
And at this point, we were quite tired.
Yeah, we were exhausted. We were tired. It's a lot of walking. Obviously, it's a huge expanse of land. And obviously, because there's lots of rides and you need that space. But the other thing that really made it interesting was it started raining. And this was, I guess,
quite
in September. Yeah, September, right?
Quite a bit, yep.
And it was good, man. Actually, I think it added another feature to the park.
The second half of the day was very different than the first half. And selfishly, what it definitely helped us out with, like we mentioned earlier, the only other people there were these kids from the school. So there were 300-400 other kids, age 5 through 12-ish, we think. And they were, running amok and loud and kids. And we're like, well, I mean, it's a theme park. That's what you're going to get.
Some more than others also,
right.
Yeah.
But then, we didn't mention your best friend.
Oh, yeah.
We totally skipped over this guy.
Om.
They just made a friend.
Yeah, I made a friend. So basically, the problem is that there were 5 of us, and that's an odd number, and you can't always sit together. So there'll be seats of 2 in a row, right? So
On roller coasters.
On roller coasters, yeah. And we went for this one roller coaster, which was called, I think, Gold Rush Express. Yeah. And
I described it as a very Yosemite Sam.
It was a Yosemite
themed,
Sam Wild West themed kind of thing,
yeah.
and it wasn't one of the more deadly ones, but it was still good.
One of the more deadly.
Yeah, there was. I mean, we'll get to the main one, which was Nitro. Yeah, but so we went on this, and we were all taking turns on who would sit alone for that ride, and then it was evened out because then Dinkar and Bashub totally chickened out because they were so afraid.
Wait, no, they went
not
on
for
it?
this one, but for Nitro.
Well, we're talking about Om.
Yeah, so we're
Let's get
talking.
back to
So
Om.
I was in front for this one. I was alone, but I wasn't because I was with my friend Om, who was a cool guy, and he was sitting alone. So I was like, "Hey man, do you want to sit next to me?" And he was like, "Yeah, cool. I'm already sitting next to you." And
He
then
was like 5.
yeah, he was 5, and he
Yeah.
did the ride better than I did, man. I was like, ah, and he was like, he was like,
Yeah,
oh, this is
right.
interesting. But yeah, man, cool guy.
Anyway,
Shout out to Om.
so at this point, we pretty much right after Gold Rush, we decided to take a break for a little bit, have another drink or so, and
Yeah, we consumed some.
we
in
did.
this, yeah.
And then at this point, once the rain really kicked in, a lot of the kids cowered and went in, and took shelter and kind of put everything on pause. And so we thought, well, this would be a great time to get out there and do some more rides. But instead, we got distracted by a sight that we saw, and we actually have a little recording of the act in action.
Yep,
So
let's do it.
Let's play that back. So the kids have left, or the kids are leaving.
They're leaving.
There were about a couple hundred of them. That being said, I think the kid's naked.
What?
There's a little baby.
There is a naked kid there?
There's a naked baby dancing in the fountain.
Shit.
And alright, moving on.
There was a screensaver.
But yeah, no, so we got here.
It's just a wet kid.
We're here on a Monday, and being off season, we thought we wouldn't have too many people around, but there is some army public school or something like that, and a couple of hundred kids. Several hundred.
They were
Yeah.
everywhere.
They were
But they
were
do like to
everywhere.
party.
We try to run them out, go in different directions, but
No, we successfully avoided them for some time. That was
no,
good.
because then
we skipped a couple of
they
rides.
had broken up into groups,
Taller
so
than
they
them
would take
also.
over the.
For some.
Hey, but having said that, I did make a friend on the enemy
Hi,
lines. We did what is the name of the roller coaster?
Wild West
The Gold Rush Express. So the problem we've been having is because of the 5 of us at the Geek Fruit team. We are often separated by the number of seats that are available in each kind of car that enters every roller coaster. So I ended up sitting right in the front of the roller coaster with Om, my new BFF, who was
How old was he?
Yeah.
I don't know. He looked like maybe 8 or 9, I guess.
That young?
You look the same, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You look quite cute.
yeah, he seemed a lot more confident about the ride than I did. But yeah, he was great. He was good company, and he was a good kid. And I enjoyed that roller coaster. It was a little not as fast as Deep Space, which is what we
Right.
experienced first, which is actually a great way to start this place. But it was good. I enjoyed it.
And on that note, though, I think that in general, these rides, for the most part, if not all of them so far at least, and we've done a little over half the rides, have all been catered to a slightly younger, early teenage.
It feels like because I think it is overall a family kind of park.
Far more so than most amusement parks. Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, they're not overselling it as anything that it's not, so that's good. But we haven't done the haunted house thing yet. We haven't done the really big coasters yet. So we'll see how those go.
Yeah, and having said that, it is a family park. We've still managed to find the few bars that are here. Enjoyed a few shots of alcohol. What did we have? A melon ball, which was
melon ball.
whiskey, vodka and melon liqueur,
But melon
which was great. That was good. And now we're having some beers, which is
Great
even
way to
better.
start with it.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm now a little more worried than I was before about this.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome to do
You
the last
are
few roller
worried, right?
coasters.
I'm just about throwing
Why
up.
are you worried?
I'm just worried about the food that's in my stomach.
Oh,
not
that's
wanting to stay in my stomach.
Not
Yeah.
safety? No neck snappy?
No, that's
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some of the baby rides
yeah.
for a bit. We'll do the little floaty
Oh
river.
no, it's
floating.
River
bumpy
rafting?
boats.
Bumpy boats.
No, bump it boats.
Bumpins.
Bump it.
Oh, bump it boats. Okay, I guess it's like bumper cars, but
Yeah.
oh, there aren't any bumper cars though.
There's something called Save the Pirate.
There was some like
There are
go-kart thing.
happy wheels.
There was a go-kart.
There was a go-kart thing for
Happy
little
Wheels.
kids which seemed closed, and I don't think they'd allow us in it anyway. It's really small.
All right. Anyway, I think we'll do a couple of those really ones. We'll do the haunted house thing,
Yeah.
and we'll do some of the slower
Loch
ones
Ness
until we
Explorers.
work up an appetite for the roller coasters,
Stay tuned.
which everyone is gonna do.
Hopefully.
Come on, Basha is afraid. I don't know why. She's afraid of heights apparently.
I'm afraid of death. And neck snappiness.
Why? Why fear
Don't be
death?
afraid of death.
Don't be
We're
afraid
all
of
gonna
death.
die.
Neck
Question is,
snappiness.
are you gonna die alone?
Wow.
You might have Om with you. He's nice. Oh no, Om's leaving.
Om's
You will be
leaving.
alone. You will die alone. So
Om is gone. Om is going home.
that naked baby is still there, by the way. He has not moved. He is
Yeah, there's
just.
a bit of a fountain kind of thing going on. It's like little jets shooting out
He's
from the
enjoying it on
ground.
his private parts. It's fine.
Anyway,
Oh yeah, he's like literally waiting in front of it for it to hit his little willy. Oh, amazing.
I mean that's kind of living the dream.
Yeah,
That is.
yeah, he's a nudist, you know, like early in life. Just being free.
We were all nudists. We didn't give a shit when we were babies.
We shat a lot when we were babies.
Give a shit.
No, we gave a lot of shit.
We gave shits to anybody. Like we didn't care who we were giving it to. Anyway, to be continued.
So that was pretty interesting. Naked kids.
Naked babies.
Naked
Just
babies just all over the place.
being all over the place.
Yeah.
So remember what I said about like, hey, I'm really impressed that this place is clean and like awesome.
And then he literally peed all over that piece of
Yep.
information. No, but it was funny, man. Like these kids literally had a free reign, and it was so funny because it was this place where there were like these water jets shooting out of the ground.
Yeah,
And,
which
like-
I loved playing in that stuff, but I was appropriately clothed.
so
And
did
this
this
thing
guy.
is, I don't recall anybody like making a big deal about.
Because he was like a baby. He was literally like 4 years old.
That's fine, but he was like,
Yeah, and he was we don't know because he basically angled his junk towards the direction of the water jet coming out of. This is an educated podcast. It's like no, but yeah, man, and like it was just hilarious. I just thought that was like the highlight of the trip for him. For that kid, he's like,
Sure.
no ride is better than the one I'm giving myself right now. Pretty much. But yeah, man, that was that. We that was so funny. Yeah, it just literally threw everyone off guard. Anyway, we went to by the time it started raining, we went on something called the bump it boats.
yeah, which was awesome.
It was
especially because it was raining.
Yeah, it was bumper cars, and you could shoot water at each other, and it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was just tiny one-man boats the size of like a regular bumper car with a water cannon on it.
Yeah,
And
it was cool. It was
it was
good fun.
great.
And we
Like-
were there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it was just the five of us because everybody else had run away, and we were like, "Screw it, we know we're going to get wet. We
Yeah.
have like 4 or 5 rides left to do. Just go for it."
That was actually the good thing. It's like we literally had the park to ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'd even recommend like anybody who's going there, like just make sure you go on a Monday or
Yeah.
a Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah. So that was. I mean, there's not much to really say about.
Yeah,
the boats.
bumper
I mean,
boats. That was good.
It was great. Bumper cars, but in water. It was awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the main ride of it all.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple of we actually missed a couple of rides, man.
We
didn't do the haunted.
We missed 2.
We didn't do the haunted
Two
house.
that we cared about. The haunted house and
there was another something called Dare to something.
yeah, with the
Dare to Drop. I
yeah,
suppose.
which
Yeah.
is just one of those vertical
drop rides.
drop rides.
Yeah.
it just shoots you up and down, and
Yeah.
it's kind of cool.
So we were like, we just had alcohol. Probably not a good idea. But
we decided to then go on the biggest, fastest, scariest coaster
so this
that
was
they had.
the main ride. This is the fastest roller coaster that is there at IMAGICA. It's called Nitro, appropriately named.
Yep.
And I think, and I'm not sure, but I think we got the last official ride for that day
Before it closed.
before it closed, and also because it was raining.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, because there was lightning.
They were just like,
coming
yeah,
in.
this is not a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
But for you guys, maybe it's kind of a good idea.
So this was one of those rides, one of those coasters where you are sort of suspended.
Yeah,
you're not
it's-
actually sitting down. You're like standing up.
Yeah, and
like,
you're gripped in by the-
yeah. You're just pulled in.
Yeah, by the seat belt.
Yeah. So we did that as the rain was like coming in. So it was like a little. It was like more than a drizzle.
Yeah.
Not a downpour,
It
but
was
more than a
probably-
drizzle.
yeah, it was probably raining,
So
yeah.
doing that while going at whatever speed
And
that
also
was.
slightly inebriated. Amazing. It was probably the best. I think it was the best
We're
ride.
really promoting horrible drinking habits on this show.
and Imagica. So I think it's a win-win.
Hey, everybody wins.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
it was...
Dinkar and Bashab chickened out last minute, and they were just like, yeah, I don't want to go. And you know what? I spoke to Bashab after that, and we were just like, so why didn't you actually go? It's like, because you're scared. She's like, no, man, because I've heard like of, roller coasters, like, one car like flying off very Final Destination style. And I was like, and you let us go on that thing, man? Like, you couldn't share this safety concern with us? But she was like, nah, it's cool. If at least we need 2 members to continue Geek Fruit after we're gone. So that was that.
You yourself are either the world's biggest idiot or a hero.
Why?
Because they just managed to actually take a photo on his phone mid-coaster.
No, it was like what do you call it? Like, the
very
point,
peak,
the peak, where, the kinetic energy, the potential energy turns into kinetic energy. And it was just basically at that pinnacle moment. And man, I had my phone out. Yeah. It was raining, it was slippery.
It's a great photo. Like, it's
an awesome photo.
It's a really
In
great
fact,
photo.
it should be up on our website.
Make it so.
Yeah, it will be up on our website, yeah.
So, he did that, and...
We actually have some videos
from
we have some videos from this whole thing, which should be up on the website, so you guys should check it out. And that's the thing, man. It was, and also because we had that GoPro with the head strap, and no one was allowing us. You know how cool that would have been? That would have been really awesome. And just like nobody let us do it, so we just had to use regular things like a phone.
I wonder why. Like, some things I can sort of see. Like,
I think if you put it up online, it's just like, you're giving away the
right? A little bit. Like, spoiler alert, Rajasaurus features a giant dinosaur. It's like, all right.
Features the Rajasaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Rajasaurus, easily one of my favorite
word.
names.
Just such a good word.
Yeah, Rajasaurus is like it encapsulates things which I love most about life, which is like India and dinosaurs.
And really bad Indian imitations of Western things.
But it was great, man.
It was awesome.
It was great. So the Nitro, I think, was pretty much the last thing we did before heading to the Red Bonnet American Diner, which had this full-on Blade Runner meets Pulp Fiction...
Meets Happy Days.
Kind of American
awesome.
diner.
Because again, it was deserted.
Yeah.
There was nobody there. At this point, it was dark out. And just like, it had all this amazing neon lighting outside and neon signs. They built a replica, like a Corvette or something.
A Cadillac. They had a
Cadillac.
Cadillac.
It was a Cadillac, yeah,
which was very Lola-esque.
Yeah, very much like Colson's Lola Cadillac sitting in the front. And just, there was something just bizarre
and also
about
because it was raining,
being in a deserted amusement park at
creepy.
night when it's raining. Like, just everything about that was like, wow, this could easily be like some spooky horror movie. Like
Final Destination,
yeah, like it was a really, really cool way to end off that whole thing.
Yeah, also we were really exhausted.
And we were just
pretty
wet
exhausted.
and just cranky at that point. And
cool, man. So I think, overall we went through most of the rides. We skipped a couple, obviously, because some were not functional, and some were just like, we're like, meh, it's cool.
Yeah.
Overall, man, thoughts? Imagica, go.
I would definitely recommend it. It's something.
Pretty much.
Don't do it more than once a year. Don't do it more than once in maybe a couple of years, right? It's kind of thing like
really?
few and far
maybe.
between.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know if I would enjoy it again if there was nothing new for me.
It's like if you're getting bored, I think in Bombay. See, this is the thing, right? Like, why we even decided to go there is because there's few cool like things that we can do as part of our nerd culture here. And though this doesn't really come under the gamut of it, like having a theme park pretty close by, not a bad idea, man, for a weekend. Yeah, definitely do it.
Like, you don't have like too many actual interactive things that fall into this category. Like, we don't have that many options. Like, there's Smash, which has, it's got like
Smash
paintball and go-karting and stuff like that.
Yeah, paintball, yeah.
They don't have too many places that have that. So, it's worth
it's super cheap,
getaway,
man.
yeah.
It's so
also
inexpensive.
the great thing is you can make a weekend out of it because there's that hotel that's right next to it.
Yeah, so there's the Novotel Imagica.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool. You can just go there. You can literally get super... I'm sorry I'm promoting. Like, you can just go have
you just go get
super wasted and then like go to Aqua Imagica the next day.
Yeah, they're right next to each other. So that's actually a really nice idea to do.
For a weekend.
We could probably do that
cheap.
soon.
Yeah, we should probably do it. But we have done Imagica, so make sure we stay tuned for a second. Part 2 of this much awaited series.
Long anticipated.
Of Imagica, yeah. But no, man, overall, still, it was great, man. And yeah, go with friends. I think go ironically is the way I'd see it. Go ironically, you'll have a...
go with like a full bag of salt so you can just keep on like just taking a grain every 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Just like...
Yeah, that's good.
You can't take it too seriously. You cannot take it too seriously.
My other thing was that maybe it's because we went on a weekday where everything was like really dull. And if you go on the weekend, you run the chance of like running into like big crowds and stuff, but also that's the thing about parks, man, like the energy. And this is the main difference. Yeah, they ripped off most of the rides, that's fine. Maybe it's not the same quality or, same standard.
Oh, you're talking about there's no identification?
Yeah, the identification, the fact that when you walk into Disneyland, you're in Disneyland. Obviously, goes without saying, there's so many characters, like I mentioned earlier, that you just know you're going to run into. And there's, the whole vibe, there are people who are the dancers, there's the electric parade, there's Fantasia that happens over there. So I was kind of expecting that, like, if you're going to a theme park, you might as well have, like, our own elements. And this is something
it has no identity.
It doesn't have
identity.
And that's the thing, like, I was like, oh, you know what? We have such few things that we really like, can call our own. Mr. India is one of them. I was like, you could have done like you could have like a Mr. India dude walking around, or like, or like doing something like a live show, or maybe the Rajasaurus is like a character, because they have created like, and it's a stretch to use the word IP, but because it's really not new intellectual property, but like they could create like those kind of brand characteristics and then run with that. And that's Ad Labs. They're a movie company. I'm sure they can take the rights from something that is far more popular and just make it their own, like I don't know.
I mean, there is a Euro Disney. Why can't they have a Asia Disney?
I believe that's the plan, by the way. So do you know anything about them?
Isn't there one in Hong Kong?
There's one in Hong Kong. Yeah. But I this is the last thing I heard, that Disneyland is coming to India, and I heard it's coming to Chennai. Is what I heard. Yeah. It's what I read a while back, but I don't know. And it's like the C-Link. So. It's like the C-Link and the Metro, man. You don't know how many years it's going to take, but if it happens, I'm good. I'm going to use it. Is it useful? Does it make sense? Or should I travel to a C-Link abroad? Right. is what I'm going at.
I think the best thing that they had in this category was they had one guy, a clown on stilts.
They had one guy,
which was cool. I was like, hey man, you're a clown on stilts. And I think, was he juggling? I don't know.
No, he wasn't juggling, because I gave him a high five. Because I was so excited. I was like, oh, there's one dude. Let me run up to him.
So I was and we met him right as we walked in. Like, yes, there's going to be more of these people. There was nobody else.
And so in the first 5 minutes, we ran out of all the characters.
One solitary clown in this entire park.
Like the saddest
walking around
clown
on stilts.
It's like, somebody reach up to me. I don't know. Yeah, so overall, IMAGICA is great for like a fun, kind of ironic vacation for a weekend. But are you going for some serious entertainment? I don't know. Should we rate it? All right. Fruits?
Yeah. How full is this basket?
It's medium full. Yeah? It's a medium full basket of fruits, man. Like there's some fruits like actually it's a weird collection of fruits is what I'd say. Not the ones that you'd usually find.
I'd say it's a full basket, but it's a very small basket with not much diversity to it.
Ooh, wow! So you placed it so much better than I did.
The basket is packed, but it's a tiny basket, and it has the most obvious fruits. It doesn't have it doesn't have the pineapples. It doesn't have the pomegranates. It doesn't have the
apricots.
Peach.
I'm just naming stuff.
It just has your apples and your bananas and your maybe your pears, like a few pears.
Grapes,
maybe.
Yeah.
An orange, but that's about it. Like nothing fancy.
So, as fancy as fruits get. Yeah, sure.
If that means anything to you, then I'm stunned.
If it didn't get as random as that, now we will go into some random news, if you don't mind, Jishnu.
Random news generator.
So, random news. Actually, it's not very random. It just happened yesterday. And I've not seen the trailer for this yet. But this is the name and the title of the trailer excited me so much that I've decided we should talk about it. I saw a trailer title. This is as teaser as it gets, like there's a teaser for the trailer. There's a trailer, there's a teaser trailer. There's a teaser for the teaser trailer. And then there's the title of the trailer, of the teaser trailer.
Which is?
The Ring versus The Grudge.
Yes.
Oh my god. How insanely cool of an idea that didn't happen just yet is this? I guess it's
like a 2017 thing, I guess?
Yeah, about 2016, and we didn't know about it. But, so The Ring and The Grudge were two of my, those were the icon, the scary films when we were in high school. And that's and The Ring was great. Ring 2, not so much. But I remember watching in the theater, and I was scared shitless. So it was good. And I love The Grudge. The second and the third one is crap. But the fact that they've brought these two creepy girls together in a single movie event. Yeah.
It's like a buddy cop movie.
No,
but
it's like the Shining twins. Imagine So now again, I'm not seeing the trailer. This is pure speculation. Are they fighting against each other? Oh my god. It's like, she gonna call up the Grudge Girl?
Oh, so it's like Godzilla versus
the other stuff.
Mothra or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Great.
And is the Ring Girl gonna call up the Grudge Girl, and like the Grudge Girl picks up and she's like 7 days, and the Grudge Girl goes. That would be like the world's funniest conversation.
This sounds like a script from Scary Movie.
Yeah,
like Scary
actually,
Movie
that's
6.
true.
Actually, what Scary Movie are we on?
Oh God!
I stopped watching after 2.
I stopped watching after 4. I think 4 was I think because I had seen all the movies before that. But yeah, man. But you know what? The versus thing is a thing that's happened before. So we've had Aliens versus Predator. Yeah. We've had Freddy versus Jason, which was kind of a fail actually. It was quite a fail. Do you know what happens in the end?
No.
So I think Jason cuts off Freddy's head.
Oh.
And he holds on to it, but then it pans onto his head, and Freddy is still like smiling or winks at the camera, some shit like that. It's crazy, yeah. Right. But yeah, man. So horror mashup, whatever. A versus kind of category. This is well within that, and it would be interesting. It would be really cool. I just want to know what they do. Like, I really want them to fight against each other. That would be awesome. Instead of like teaming up, I don't know. Is this the Civil War of horror films? Who knows, man? Who knows?
But if it was Civil War, then they'd bring in other people with them. They'd bring in Daniel Radcliffe from The Woman in Black.
Oh yeah.
They'd bring in DiCaprio from Shutter Island. They bring in the second DiCaprio from Shutter Island. So there'd be 2 DiCaprios.
But you're talking about talking about the main characters who are the victims of all the detectives.
No, I'm talking about people on their side. Because it'd be like Team Leo versus Team.
But then you have to get like Freddy and Jason and
get the whole gang.
Oh, sweet.
And get the guy from Scream.
The Scream guy.
The Scream guy.
Yeah. Is that a name for that character? Pinhead, maybe. The other pin from
I was gonna say, that's
Pinhead is from what? Dude, how can we not know this? This is terrible. But besides the point, I'm excited. The Grudge versus the Ring. So cool. The Ring Grudge. The Grudge of the Ring.
The Gringe.
The Grunge.
The Grunge.
The Grunge. Oh, sweet. I can already tell you the soundtrack. But yeah, man, excited. Did you ever watch The Ring, by the way?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was. It was
one of those things that I watched it at like a sleepover when I was like, maybe 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Adil was there, a friend.
Oh, sweet.
And we watched it with like 5 or 6 of us in the room. Got scared, like crazy.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, while credits are rolling, I was at my friend's house. The phone rings.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, what?
This is exactly the same thing that happened to me.
Who was it? It was his mom who was in the bedroom next door saying, shut the hell up. Why are you guys screaming?
So when we did this, we were all watching The Ring, and the phone rang after the thing, and it was just my friend who would just be an asshole and just like wanted to screw with us. I think it's a common thing. Everyone does it. We should have been better prepared. Cool, man. What's your news for the day?
So I'm going to do a complete 180 on that.
Okay. So
this has nothing to do with horror movies. This actually has nothing to do with anything we talk about at all.
Oh, sweet.
I'm just so deeply passionate about this.
Okay.
Fuller House! I'm so excited. So excited.
But
it's so good. I loved it.
You
I'm
finished
so
it?
happy. No, I didn't finish it. I'm on like episode 10
So
of
Fuller
13.
House.
It's
How
so
many
fun.
episodes? How many episodes?
It's so fun. My heart has grown like 10 sizes in this past weekend.
So a lot of people
I've
seen from Facebook reactions, and that's a thing, by the way. Now,
yeah, no, it is a thing.
Facebook reactions.
Life is good.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with life. What reactions have you seen?
A lot of people just think it's really lame.
Yeah,
and cheesy.
I'm sure.
But you're tripping on that.
I'm tripping on it because it's like here's what I'm genuinely excited about. All jokes aside, I'm really actually very pleased to see is that this seems to be the first show that's actually very, very, very self-aware of
the fact that
everything about it. I'll give you a few examples.
Go for it.
So it's 13 episodes, and the plot line is that it's the kids taking over the house, and then all the adults now move out, and then
it's like the sins of the father.
Yeah, basically.
Thing.
So it's the 3 girls that are raising their kids, and every now and again, one of the older guys will come in and like cameo.
So how many? They're only cameos, is it?
Yeah. So the first episode is everybody.
Right.
Sort of establishing the new order of things, and then they all leave, and then it's up to the 3 girls.
It's the Force Awakens of Full House.
Basically, yeah, it's literally the Force Awakens of Full House.
Okay.
And then next episode Stamos will come in, the next episode Joey will come in, the next episode Bob Saget will come in, things like that.
Sweet.
So the Olsen twins are not in it, right? And this people have known for a while, and that's fine. And when asked about it, so when asked about it, they said, "Why aren't they in?" They said, "Well, they just haven't expressed any interest, but we are more than happy to have them on if they want to come by."
Right.
That's what they left it as publicly, as far as we were concerned regarding their relationship with the twins.
Yeah.
So they're getting so meta, and I love this because one, it's the exact same sitcom format from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But one, it's weird enough just seeing it in high definition and seeing like proper tracking shots and it's like what, your cinematography is like really improved, but it's still cheesy in a whole lot of ways.
Yeah.
And they'll mention things like, so Stamos was producing it, right? So he's very much integral in
invested in it. Yeah.
So like they'll say things like, oh, so is this the part where we're all gonna have we're all gonna like have a really hard talk and then eventually hug and violin music is gonna play?
Oh, sweet.
And they'll do things like that, but then at the end of the episode, when it happens, they sneak it in somehow, and then at some point, somebody like sort of look directly into the camera and be like, "Do you hear violins?" They'll break the fourth wall all the time. At one point, at the very end of the first episode, when the entire cast is reunited, standing in line together, they say something like, "Isn't it great how we're all here?" And then somebody says, "Oh yeah, but Michelle, the Olsen twins, is out running their fashion line." Oh, and then they like just make some snarky comment about like, "Oh, so I guess they don't really care about acting anymore." And they stop, look dead in the camera, and there's like an applause break for like 20 seconds. Because it's a live audience, right?
Oh, it was shot in live audience.
So the audience like is aware of the fact that they are who they are. Like John Stamos like makes a joke about like, "Oh, you guys should really watch General Hospital. I hear that they have some really great cast members on."
Wow, it's pretty meta.
It's incredibly meta.
This is like the Deadpool.
It totally is. It totally is. Like
style.
Bob Saget says something about
How I Met Your Mother?
He's doing a Wake Up San Francisco reunion with Aunt Becky, and then one of the girls says, "Oh, isn't it really cheesy when people bring back something that's 20 years old?"
Yeah,
and he's
I
like,
think they
"Not
did that
when it's
in
beloved by millions of people," and like. Shit, like they keep talking about that stuff.
Does that get annoying? I don't know.
No, I loved it. They don't do it too much.
You're biased, Jishnu.
I'm incredibly biased. I love this thing.
Okay.
At some point, they actually call out the Olsen twins. Like, they say their name in that, at some point.
Wow, really?
One of the daughters, is celebrating her like 13th birthday party, goes out with her mom, Stephanie, I think. Or no, Kimmy Gibbler goes out with them, buys a dress, and Kimmy comes home, she's like, "Wow, that was really expensive." Somebody asks, "Oh, where'd you go?" "We bought a dress designed by Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen."
Wow.
And then she's like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know they did that." It's like, "Yeah, and it cost a whole lot of money. No wonder they don't need to act anymore."
That's the line?
They'll go that far. I was just like, this is crazy. This is amazing. And it's a cheesy sitcom, but they know it's a cheesy sitcom, and so they're
completely self-aware.
It's very self-aware. So
I guess
really
that was the only way they were going to make it swing.
And it works, man. And like it's entertaining in the same way that it was back then. It's not going to like be anything earth-shattering that's going to like
yeah, not like Full House.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
it's like it's just great. I
just
love
feels...
that they're sort of setting some sort of new order for like when the next random sitcom gets resurrected, which
so I think this is the
happen.
first Netflix live action kind of sitcom.
It's working out so well.
Wow, how interesting. I wonder if like they would never do it. I guess Friends would never come back. I mean, that's the thing that everyone keeps. I see it like every 3 months. Somebody's like, "Guys, there's a reunion, guys. Guys, there's a reunion," and I'm just like, okay, for sure.
5 of them were in the same room, like very recently.
See, that's exactly
like,
what I'm talking about. People
lost
their minds. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess if Full House can come back, the only thing I think for sure is not going to come back is Back to the Future. Because he has stated so publicly so many times that it's never going to come back, which would be awesome because it would be Back to the Future. Oh my god! Anyway, but yeah, Fuller House, man, Netflix, cool.
I'm unnecessarily excited.
How many episodes are you in, and how many do you have
I have
left?
like 3 left.
Ah, sweet. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Maybe we can talk about. I don't know. We can't. Probably can't. We leave this for like this section of the show for talking about Baywatch and Fuller House. Yes, we do other things apart from science fiction and fantasy. Okay, cool, awesome, man. So that's our episode for today. If you guys want to, talk to Jishnu about Full House or want to know why he still watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., please. Like directly contact him. Don't even come.
887-929-63FU.
Yeah. It's contactgeekfruit@gmail.com. And you can find us on all social media at Geek Fruit HQ, at Geek Fruit HQ. Instagram and stuff, I guess. Yeah. We have a couple of interesting episodes coming up, which we have no idea what they're about, but they're going to be awesome. Sorry. That was my pitch for it.
Bye.
Anything else?
No.
Anything else?
Just I said bye. No, don't backtrack now.
Sorry, last thing. Please check out our website. It's geekfruit.in. It's really cool and very colorful.
I just made a beautiful closing. And
yeah. It was very beautiful. Geekfruit.in. Bye.
Messing with the diamond. Bye. Hey, Tejas.
Yeah.
I'm burning inside about these issues that I have.
What are you saying?
I need a place to go to like deal with these issues that are just burning me up.
It's so weird that you mentioned that because I have exactly what you need.
Is it skin cream?
Close. It's super close. It's a podcast.
Oh, that's so much better.
which is called Simplified, because it's done by Malayalis. And I'm one, that's why I can say the word. It's very difficult to pronounce for non-Malayali people. But it's called Simplified, and it's done by Chuck and Naren. And they're basically gonna speak about said burning issues that you should know about.
Thank the heavens.
To make you appear smarter.
That can happen.
Because that's what they do. Wow. They inform you, then you act like you knew that
so
information.
So if they make you seem smarter, it's kind of like the guy who does like the makeover shows.
Extreme Makeover.
Yeah, but for like your mind.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This is a completely new concept.
Is it patented?
It's patented, and you can find the license on ivmpodcast.com, and actually the podcast as well. Yeah. So definitely check it out. It's called Simplified. It's pretty awesome. I am yet to hear it, but I'm sure it's excellent.
I feel smarter already.